My journey to the Jersey Effect started really when I was about 16 years old. I was at a church camp, and there was a man speaking who had played in the NFL. His name was Willie Franklin, and Willie had retired to preach the gospel, felt a real conviction to do that. And I remember watching him and listening to him and thinking to myself, that is what I want to do. I want to play football for the glory of God, and I want to preach to young people. I want to go and use that platform. And that has happened to a certain extent. And this whole, the whole winning the Super Bowl and realizing what the world is all about, and all the lessons I've learned along the way, watching Coach Dungy, watching coaches that do it right and those who don't do it so right. A little over a year ago, I was approached by a good friend of mine, a guy named Darren Gray. It's one of those interesting kind of Esther moments where you feel like you were created for such a time as this. Darren sat with me and he said, I want to write this book. It's called The Jersey Effect. And I want to write about the effect of the jersey on athletes and the effect that athletes can have with the jersey. And I remember it was one of those moments where I did pray about it, but I didn't have to pray a whole lot because I felt like this is something I'm just supposed to be a part of. Darren came to me with the idea to reach out to some men to interview for the book. Ben Utek was enthusiastic. And one of the things that came out that we actually based his whole chapter around, he was coming out of the tunnel at the Super Bowl, and his dad had fought his way all the way to the tunnel. Their seats were a long way away from there too. His dad had fought all the way to the tunnel where we were coming out, down to the very front. At the Super Bowl, it's kind of a hard place to get to. And Ben's running out, and he hears someone just incessantly screaming, Ben, Ben. It was a familiar voice. And he turned around and he saw his dad. He said, oh, Dad. He said, not now, I can't, not now. He waved him off. He turned around and he jogged off. And he said it was literally like, after 5 or 6 steps, a brick wall just dropped in front of him. And he just sensed like the Lord saying, honor your father. Remember your father. You know what I mean? Don't look at who you're becoming. You're forgetting where you came from. You're forgetting where it all started. And Ben turned around, and it's something out of a movie, but it's better. His father was fighting his way back up the steps to go back to his seat. And Ben got down and he screamed and screamed at him, trying to, he ran back to the tunnel and he's screaming up at his dad, Dad, Dad. And finally his dad recognized his voice. And he turns around and he comes back down to the bottom. And Ben just looks at him, and with tears in his eyes, he says, it all started with you, Dad. And it's just an incredibly special moment in the book. As we've sat down and gone over the material and talked through my life and teammates and things I've seen happen, and we think it's going to be a really powerful tool to reach people so that people don't trust in the jersey, don't trust in the world, but they learn to trust in God. And not to let the jersey affect them negatively, but let them take the jersey they're wearing, the platform they have, their life in general, and go use it for God.